book besties, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cayenne and this is Cayenne is Booked. And today we're going to be doing the New Year Booktuber Tag. It's my first official one. So Jessin Loves to Read, I believe. I'm not sure. I know she created the tag. I'll link her channel below. But I'm just really excited because it literally is like the first time I'm able to do this tag and it's so fun. Okay, there are 8 questions that we're going to be going over. Some of them will have like super simple answers, and then others of them like I might kind of, I don't know, delve deeper into. So the first one is, what are you most excited about for 2024? And I think I'll probably give the same answer like anybody who asks me like what am I most excited about in the new year. And I always like to just say like I like the fresh planners and the new journals and the idea of like a fresh start in the new year. So that's probably what I'm most excited about in 2024. I'll be having my 4th Bookstagram anniversary and my first booktube anniversary this year as well. So super excited about that. But other than that, like I'm just mostly excited to really focus on the things that I find important this year and really kind of like let go of some things that have been bothering me or that like I've been hanging on to. So fresh planners, new journals, more bookish adventures. That's really at the heart of what I'm excited about for the new year. Next is going to be, do you have a good read challenge goal and why that number? 100. And it just sounded like a good number. Like my 2023 goal, I believe, was 100 as well. And I think the year before that I did 150, but 100 with being a full-time teacher in the classroom and doing before and after care like feels a little bit more manageable. And if you go over it, like you go over it, but if you meet it, like that's still a really great accomplishment as well. Honestly, like with how busy the world is, like reading in general, like that's a huge accomplishment. So I really wish more people like thought about it like that, but I digress. I'm gonna say 100 bucks and that's gonna be what I put on my Goodreads for this year. List 3 5-star predictions. So the first one should come as no surprise, but House of Flame and Shadow by SJM. I'm assuming, although she's gonna wreck me, although I'm probably gonna sob, although it's gonna be uncomfortable, I'm assuming that House of Flame and Shadow is gonna be just amazing. And there's really just like nothing else to say about it. Next up, I'm reading Assistant to the Villain. And I think just like the idea of working for the villain, falling for your boss who happens to be the villain, like is kind of right up my alley. So I'm really excited to see if Assistant to the Villain ends up being a 5-star read for me. I don't know. Who knows? I've also never read the author before and it's more like romantasy than romance, but it sounds interesting. And then my final 5-star prediction is Vicious Bonds by Shanora Williams. So this is a book club pick for the book club that Jess and I do. She is Love to Love Books on Instagram, but we have a book club called The Good, the Bad, and the Smutty on Instagram. I'll link it below if you'd like to join us. We do 1 monthly chat about a book that we pick, and this is going to be our January pick, and it's like enemies, lovers, mafia, like do I stay with her and risk her life, like, or do I leave her so she can live and find someone better for her vibes? And we all know I'm trash for it, so I think this is gonna be a 5-star. I'm gonna be sad if it's not, honestly, because I've kind of hyped it up in my head, but whatever. What genre, subgenre, a trope do you want to read more of? I always want to read more enemies to lovers. I'm not gonna lie to you, like I never get tired of staying up late and then gasping when, oh my gosh, the enemies become lovers. Like he finally kissed her. He finally kissed her so she'd stop yelling at him. Like, oh my God, I'm trash for it when like they're fighting and he just like kisses her to make her be quiet. I also want to read more romantasy. I'm looking over at the stack of romantasy books because I just filmed a vlog that I'll be like teasing and or announcing probably at some point just so like I hold myself accountable for it. So I do want to read more like romantasy books as well. So that would be the other one that I would really like to read more of. What trope do you think will be popular in 2024? This is just like me hoping. Like I want to see like the billionaire like workplace romances come back because I don't know, like I really feel like in 2020 and 2021, like they were all the rage and I was like eating them up like candy. And then all of a sudden, like we really shifted into our small town romance, like cowboy romance era. And like, believe me, I'm not a hater. I love small town romance and I love cowboys, but like I really want like the rich entitled like billionaires and their office assistants. Like I want this secretary boss relationship back. Like I want the unhinged if HR ever found out about it relationships. And this is me speaking it. This is me manifesting it out in the universe. Name 3 bookish goals. So the first one is I want to finish Devaney Perry's backlist. I am 1 series and I think like probably like 7 or 8 books away from like being completely done with her backlist, which is both like a love-hate relationship because that means like I have no more like Devaney books to look forward to, but then like I'm caught up and I can talk to everybody about all of them. So it's kind of like a catch-22, but very excited about it. Number 2 is going to be my 24 in 2024 challenge. And I haven't put my video up for this. I've filmed it, like I've been filming for like an hour now. So I filmed it a little while ago. I wasn't going to do the challenge. And I wasn't going to do it because like I don't ever finish it. And if we're just being honest with each other, like not finishing the same challenge year after year after year just like makes you not want to do it. However, I've mostly just been like rolling over like the same books like year after year instead of sitting down and really thinking about like what books am I actually going to read this year. So Jess and I have picked all of our book club picks all the way through March. So all of those ended up on the list. I'm doing a couple of vlog projects already and I have all of those listed out. So those books ended up on the list. The next in like some series that I'm reading ended up on the list. So I was like a little bit more strategic this year and I wasn't just picking like, I can't even tell you, I have like 2 Tessa Dare books on my 23 book list and I can't tell you the last time I read a historical. Not because I don't enjoy historical romances, but I just haven't been in the mood. And like being a huge mood reader, I also put some Sophie Larks on there because I haven't read her entire backlist yet. So I put some Sophie Larks on there because I know I enjoy going back to her world. So I was a little bit more strategic and I feel like, yeah, I did cheat and I put the next SJM book on there as well because like we all know I'm gonna read it. I say I'm not going to, and then over the summer I'm gonna stay up until 5 o'clock in the morning and break my own heart by reading this book. Period. So yeah, I'm doing the 24 in 2024 challenge and I would like to be in a year sitting here in front of you guys and telling you like, hey, guess who finished that challenge? Ya girl. And then 3, like the big one for me is just to continue to read what I want. And this really like kind of ties into like my booktube channel as well because like I've been putting content out since July. Hasn't been super consistent because I spent like the end of October, I spent like November and December basically like getting every sickness to come into my school because being a teacher means that like you're just in like the cesspool of sickness all the time. And like my immune system just like took one head after the other. Anyways, so I'm having a really good time, but like I'm not posting, I don't want to say like trendy stuff, but like I'm not posting like all new release content or things like that. Like I'm reading the Paige Tyler series that I picked up. Like I'm reading books that were published in like 2017, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like I am having the time of my life going back and rereading these books, like, and I'm really enjoying it. And I'm just reading books and series that I want to. So I'm going to continue doing that in 2024. And like, if people want to come for the adventure, sick. And if they don't, like, I'm just not a channel or a bookstagram or something that like, I'm never on trend. Like I'm almost there and I'm like this new booktuber tag thing. I don't know when it's supposed to go up, but like I've seen people putting them up like beginning of December and I'm like, cool, it'll get up when it gets up. Like it makes more sense to me to like put it up at the end of December, beginning of January, right? Or just the beginning of January. I'm not trying to go on a rant because like we all kind of like put stuff up the way we want to put stuff up. But like for me, I am so much of a mood reader and I tried so long to like conform to how other people, like all the readathons and like all of the things that other people did. And like, I just hated it because it didn't feel genuine. Like I didn't want to sit down and read this book because like, I didn't feel like it. So I'm really like leaning into the mood reading and just leaning into books that like I'm excited to read. So if that means that like I don't finish all of Rena Kent's backlist next year, then that's what it means. Although I'm loving that adventure I'm going on, so I don't see that happening. But I'm just saying, even if I don't finish Stephanie's backlist next year, because I know she's releasing next year, so even if I don't finish hers, like, I'm gonna be okay. Like, I'm just going to continue to enjoy the ride of like reading books that sound good and interesting to me. Right? So that's like my third goal. And I know it says 3 bookish goals, but like I'm gonna go with a 4th one as well. And I would really like to meet more bookish friends like when I go to like book conventions. So right now I'm going to Sweetgrass in Charleston, South Carolina, and then Readers Take Denver in April. So I'm really excited about both of those trips. I think it's going to be like such a good time, but sometimes I feel like I just get like really introverted, even though that's not my personality. And I'd really just like to like make way more bookish friends. Like make sick like friendship bracelets that have my like tag on them so that they can find me later and we can be friends. Like that would be cool, right? That's my plan. Like I'm going to the book conventions. I'm seeing some of my favorite authors. I'm so excited. Elle Kennedy right now, I don't want to say it too loudly, but she's confirmed for Sweetgrass. And like, I screamed when I saw the announcement because I'm so excited. So I have 2 really, really amazing, like there's a possibility, I'm gonna get to like, meet like Catherine Cowles too in Denver. So like, I'm just so excited about the opportunities I have in this upcoming year. And I just want to be like more open to making those friends, like when I'm face to face with them. Cheesy, whatever. I just, you know, like that's kind of how I look at it. Okay. So 3 personal goals is the next question. So, and I've talked to my friends about this, but I have like, so I have hypothyroidism. And I was diagnosed at 18, which is very uncommon. Like most women don't get diagnosed until like well into their 30s. But like I started exhibiting signs of like excessive weight gain, like sheer exhaustion. Like I sleep 14 hours, 15 hours, like easy. Like my fatigue was really strong. I wasn't able to regulate my body temperature. Like my hormones were completely out of control because at the age of 18, like, you know, you're fighting for your life, right? So I got diagnosed very early. And I've struggled since then, like with my weight. There are times where like I've really loved my body. And if you struggle with like how you look at yourself, like this may or may not be triggering for you. So like, just know like, I'm not going to talk about anything negative. I'm just more so talking about like my experience as a whole, right? So since being diagnosed with hypothyroidism, I've really struggled. Like I've gone back and forth, like I've yo-yoed so much, right? And there's so many different things that I've started, and it's always been like a viewpoint of like me looking at exercise and looking at working out as like punishing myself for eating foods that I enjoy or indulging in margaritas, which I'm never giving up margaritas, guys. Like I am who I am, right? So, and I've just have this really strong like love-hate relationship with my body because I love my body because it's carried me through so much. Like we have really hit a couple of snafus. I've had surgery. I've had multiple surgeries on one cyst. Like I've had a cyst removed. I've had multiple cysts removed. I've had my gallbladder. Like I've had a lot happen in my body. Like I talk about it so negatively for it to have done so much for me, right? So in 2024, I really want to shift my mindset to I get to work out and look at it more as something that helps with my mental health because I've really been struggling with that. I didn't expect to get this deep. So, oh my goodness. Anyways, I've really been struggling with my mental health and like I never feel better than when I'm physically active. Like I see myself spiraling a lot more when I don't have that physical aspect in my life. So with that being said, like I'm going to be working out for my mental health and not to look a certain way. Cause like this is the body that I have and I'm not meant to look like I'm 16 or 17 for my entire life. Like I'm not meant to look like a literal teenager or a child at the age that I'm at right now. Like I need to embrace the body that I have now and what it's done for me and start nourishing it and start really like celebrating what it's done for me. So I'm looking at working out as like, this is a boost for my mental health. This is a boost for me physically. And like, this is something that's positive for me, not, ugh, I have to work out. So that's one of them. My second goal is going to be to declutter my house, because I don't know if you're like this, but like if my physical space is cluttered or unorganized, I feel like my mental space feels the same sometimes. So my goal is to clear the physical clutter so that I can help with the mental clutter that I sometimes feel when I'm not in like a clean, fresh space. Now, I have a dog. I'm sure you heard her making noise in the background just a second ago. She tracks dirt in, she sheds, all those things, right? Like that's everyday type things. I mean, like if I don't want the book anymore, it's gotta go. I mean, if I'm not using the decorations, it's gotta be donated. If I'm not using this, it's like, I just have lived in this house for a while and I've started to like hoard and accumulate things. For why? For what? So I want to declutter. And the big goal that I have this year is like, I just want to have fun. Like I want to go to book signings if I want to go to book signings. I want to meet the authors that I want to meet. I want to hook up with the friends that I've met on Instagram, on BookTube. Like I want to hug people. I want to have a good time. I want to go and do this, like there's this like bakery tour in the city that I live in, and you go from like bakery to bakery and you just try sweets, like cupcakes here, brownies here, this here. That sounds fun. Bar crawl? No, I'm good. Let me have a sugar high. So I want to like finish diamond paintings and hang them up on my gallery wall. I want to go be maid of honor for my sister and have the best time celebrating her and the love of her life. Like I just want to have fun. I want to go to the dog park and watch my dog be antisocial and then want to force every dog in the same vicinity as her to like her. Like I just want to choose things that make me feel like I'm having fun and things that I enjoy. So I want to have fun, and whatever that looks like is what it looks like. Okay. My very last question is, what do you want to leave behind in 2023? So I think I've probably already touched on it with my mini, of course Belle has to hop down, right? When I'm trying to like not lose my train of thought. So I think that like I kind of touched on it. Like I really just want to shift my mindset. I actually have a 5-year journal that I got from Hobonichi. I'll link it down below. It's actually really cool. And I'm turning it into my gratitude journal because when I was younger, at dinner, we would sit down and we would talk about like 3 things that like we were happy about for the day, like what went well for us. And I've really felt myself get into like a negative spiral, and I don't want to live there. I'm too young to be negative. I have so much life ahead of me, and I really want to start embracing that in 2024. So I really want to leave a lot of the negative behind in 2023. I want to work out to fuel my body, not to punish it. I want to have more fun, and I want to continue to just do what feels best for me. And not saying that I don't care about other people, because like my family's so important to me, my friends are so important to me, but I also want to always remember to sometimes I need to be putting myself first a little bit more than I am. Like I should have taken some sick days instead of pushing through and going into work, because then I probably wouldn't have been sick for as long as I was. So really just like making better choices for myself. So in 2023, I want to leave behind the negative, and I really want to push into what I would consider to be the positive. So on that note, thank you so much if you made it all the way through my video for my first ever New Year Booktuber tag. Like I said, I'll make sure I tag everything in the comments below. Like as I'm editing, I'll make sure I listen for like, I'll tag this, I'll tag that, because I'm so bad at that. But as always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There's a lot of really fun content coming. I'm having so much fun putting together like videos and editing them and uploading them and being a part of this community. And I can't wait to see like what it looks like in 2024. As always, I hope you're having a wonderful day, no matter where in the world you are, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.